Mumbai is voting, like we said, for India's richest civic body as institutes that control a budget bigger than several countries put together. But this election comes after more than 3 years without an elected municipal council, that is, in a period marked by diluted accountability, growing frustration on the ground as well. As campaigning ends, the political focus has been on alliances, ideologies, big-ticket promises. But what's missing? What's missing from the conversation is what millions of Mumbaikars deal with every single day. Basic civic services, neighborhood safety, roads, water, sanitation, air. As the city prepares to vote, a large question looms. Are civic elections being fought by civic elections or like civic elections at all? We went across Mumbai to understand what voters are really saying, but what they are getting in return from politicians. Take a look.
The BMC is India's richest civic body, with a budget that rivals even some countries. Yet for more than 3 years, Mumbai's civic administration has been headless. No elected body, diluted accountability, and little public oversight. Now on Thursday, elections to the civic body will finally take place. But on the streets of Mumbai, the election pitch is missing the point. The campaign is centered on alliances, ideology, Marathi Manus, and grand promises of investment. Mumbaikars, however, are asking a simple question: who will fix our everyday problems? In Lokhandwala, a densely populated residential area, people say civic neglect has become routine. There's no fire station nearby, with erratic water supply, garbage piling up on the roads, and even a lack of designated space for pigeon feeding.
Our ward, K West, which has so many municipal corporation wards, we are the third highest property tax payer to Mumbai city. So we have demanded that we should get our due for the tax that we are paying to the Mumbai municipality. I feel it will get better, but I think the vision also has to be there that when you make a concrete roads, the utilities below, like water pipelines, sewage lines, also has to be made broader, and the pipeline should be changed, which is absent currently.
Across the city, potholes remain Mumbai's deadliest civic failure, claiming lives year after year. Citizens like Dada are filling the gap left by the system because he does not want anyone to go through the pain that he did. His 16-year-old son lost his life to this menace in 2015, and since then, Dada has become the pothole Dada.
2015 से जब से मैंने चालू किया है तो आज तक भी चालू है और देख रहे हैं आज भी हमारे मुंबई में 10 साल होने के बावजूद भी 3 चीफ मिनिस्टर मुख्यमंत्री आके चले गए, फिर भी अभी तक ये हादसा आज भी रोड पे है। मुंबई के सड़कें सब बीएमसी हैंडओवर किया गया है, लेकिन फिर भी आज ये मायने में देखा जा रहा है कि बीएमसी का इलेक्शन नहीं होने की वजह से कई जगह पे इस तरह की आज हादसे में लोगों की जाने जा रही है।
As Mumbai votes, the real mandate from the ground is clear. Less politics, more governance.
If one looks at BMC's budgets and the political promises which are being made this election, somewhere it feels that having a lot of money has become one of the problems for the BMC. There is a lot of attractions to invest in capital expenditures and invest in projects which cost crores of rupees. At the same time, basic necessities which will not lead to profit for corporates are not being looked after. With camera person Cyprus at Patel Mustafa Sheikh for India Today.
All right, last day of campaigning over there, and you know how it will actually go. Let's cut across to our reporters now. Rithwik and Mustafa now join us for more on this. Rithwik, let me come to you first. Help me understand what exactly is the mood on the ground at the moment. Are you seeing people frustrated? Are you seeing people saying, kuch nahi hone wala is election se? What's the mood like?
Absolutely. We all know that Mumbai, the international capital of the nation and also the richest civic body. But despite of the basic civic issues like good roads, pothole-free roads, unhindered water supply, electricity, traffic jam, such basic civic issues were not in the center of the campaign, but there were, a political showdown completely witnessed during this whole campaign of BMC elections. Be it from Thackeray brothers, Raj Thackeray and Uddhav Thackeray, or Eknath Shinde, Shiv Sena, or BJP alliance. So it was Marathi versus non-Marathi, or it was Muslim versus Hindu, or it was about Rohingyas and Bangladeshis being removed out of the city. But the real issues somehow were not at the center of the talk, and it was highly political meltdown which was seen during the campaign just a few minutes ago.
Not just that,
the campaign
if I may add, it was about Shettis versus non-Shettis as well. We saw the older slogan of Balasaheb Thackeray actually come back and being used by Raj Thackeray as well. The entire really crass lungi-pungi remark as well over there. But my colleague Mustafa is also standing by with some residents that he's got with him today. Mustafa, over to you. I want to understand, again, like I said, what's the mood like? A, are they all going to vote? Number one. B, I want to understand what is the issue that they will vote on.
Yes, of course, they are going to vote. There are residents of Santa Cruz, Bandra with me. And so what have been the issues which you will be voting on when you vote this election?
There are plenty of issues. I am from Santa Cruz. There are plenty of issues which need to be addressed, particularly AQI, which is choking most of the citizens in this area. Building activity is really high, and permitted time is from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. This is extremely unfair for the people who are particularly old and unwell. So I would only request that the decibel limits should be adhered to during the daytime, afternoon hours particularly, and the timing should be reduced from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. only.
So what would be your issue while you vote?
I want to add to that, the AQI is high because a lot of the dust and the debris is left on the road uncleared. This should be brushed and cleaned. The road should be cleaned. I have one other point to make, please. All the projects that you take up, the beautification, it's all very well. It adds to the feel-good factor. But please take the residents into confidence before you start any project.
One more residents we have. Roads have been a big issue. Thousands of crores have been spent. Will that be an issue when you vote?
Yeah, so roads are being concretized. There are a lot of roads which are under construction. What is basically lacking is supervision. Because of lack of supervision, we do not have the utilities properly laid out. We have damages to the water pipeline, gas pipeline every second day. We just get a message sometimes we don't even get a message.
Yeah. 3 years without corporators, now finally an elected body. How do you look at it?
I certainly feel that the elected body is going to be welcome. That way they can coordinate between the residents as well as the administration. We've had ups and downs in the last 3 years, but I'm sure with them it's going to be easier, especially since residents want to come forward and work with them.
And to end with, what about our furry friends, whether pets, strays will be a thing for you when you vote? Where are you from?
Yeah, animal welfare organizations and urban limits definitely need the municipal corporation support to deal with the population, to deal with critical care, hospitalization, diagnostic facilities, which right now falls on NGOs and animal welfare organizations, keeping public health and hygiene sanitation in mind.
So you can see that a 360 view we have taken here. Residents across ages, be it air quality, beautification projects, money being spent but not being organized, roads being made but again dug up for the utilities. So they are hoping that these are policies, concerns which once they get an elected body, they can consult their corporator and get the work done. Back to you.
All right, Mustafa, there, getting a view of what people really care about. Very, very far away from what the politicians are actually talking about. But good luck, Mumbai, as you go down to vote in just about 24 hours from now. Thank you, Mustafa, joining us with all those residents. Meanwhile, talking about Mumbai, let's cut across to somebody who's as Mumbai can get. Joining me next is Cyrus Broacha. He's been the funny man. He's been the newsman. He's been doing a lot of podcasting of late, but I want to start by asking you, Cyrus, What an election. From lungi, poongi to rasmalai, God knows what we are discussing when the real issues on the ground are just not featuring in any of the, political slogans or even campaigning. What are you feeling at the moment as a Mumbaikar?
Yeah, but largely in Malabar Hill, we try to avoid the campaign because we are the rich and the elite, and we're not really suffering. So we try and just put the AC as loud as possible, put your Netflix on, and make sure you don't hear what's going on downstairs and live in peace. No, but you're right. I like your opening remarks, which were about certain slurs, or slurs that appear to be slurs for certain communities, etc. So a lot of that name calling has hijacked the campaign a little bit, as far as I'm concerned. Also, more interesting is we're not sure which party alliance is being true to itself. In the party alliances, there have been new alliances where they've gone back to old alliances in spite of still being in the new alliance. So there's a lot of confusion going around here, and that's made it like a soap opera. So exactly what you said about the issues and all, that's gone to the backseat. No one's really looking at that. It's more like everybody's watching. Can you believe it? X is with Y, even though they were first with X, they're back with Y. It's all that. So yeah, very interesting for all of us to see. And of course, the greatest thing of being part of a democracy in India is that every time this happens, we're the only country in the world, a democratic country in the world, where for whatever reason there's a dry day.
But you speak about soap opera. Tell me, if BMC elections are a movie, which movie do you think it would be?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I would go with 12 Angry Men if I was looking at Hollywood. And if I was looking at Bollywood, I mean, there's so many interesting movies. I think what was it, Shri 420 back in the day, old one. There's so many of these slightly jugaad films, which I think this whole thing is about strategy and cunning. If you look at it without any jaundiced eye, if you're not, supposing you're in Jalandhar watching it, so you're not involved in it, it's actually going to be great fun. Because there's just so many combinations and permutations, like a cricket match when the rain has come down and you're trying to figure out who's going to win the match in the end. Because they keep sort of changing alliances and sort of bringing people into the fold, or presenting a certain face which it isn't, or trying to show something which is not there. So of course, I'm trying not to be specific because you don't want any trouble from anybody, depending on who wins. So we have to be very careful. My pet peeve, Sonal, is very different. My pet peeve, call it elitist, is the motorbike culture. And I only want that to stop. The ones that break the one-ways, and this includes those poor two-wheeler guys trying to earn money with deliveries. They're just driving me nuts because I believe that no challan ever reaches a motorbike. They just break the red light while you're sitting there like an idiot. Break the one way, you drive on the pavement, do anything they want to. So in my humble request is, after all the other things I looked at, from AQI to roads to metro to every little issue which is more generic for the entire public, also look at motorbikes.
You're right, and maybe there is now a ruling which will sort of ease out the delivery guys issue as well. But I caught on to what you said, Cyrus, earlier about being careful about what you say. I thought Mumbai was all about being loud and also being absolutely unafraid of anybody. You're saying now Mumbaikars also have to be careful about what they say?
I'll give you an example. There was a young gentleman, a non-violent man, who's never hurt a fly physically, although verbally he might have slightly assaulted people. I won't say his full name. His first name rhymes with Tunal, and his surname rhymes with Pamra. And I mean, this is a city where he was sort of, attacked and pushed out of, in a sense. Although the attack happened when he was not there, but that's purely logistics, which will explain later in life. Yes, one has to be a little careful with the climate we live in. So we are being as careful as possible. So far, so good.
But Cyrus, that's sad, no? That's like terribly sad. You're talking about defamations, you're talking about being attacked, all of this in the city.
No. I think there is a sense of freedom of expression, but you have to go through the wedges, and it's like a puzzle. You got to just go through all that. You weave your way. So you have to be as creative as possible. Yeah. So, but the fact of the matter is, there's always a chance that someone is going to file defamation or attack you, or some goons are going to come after you, or even, let's say, institutions will come after you, even though they have much more important things to do. So that's always there. So in a sense, it's like a game, but I'm not complaining.
All right, Cyrus Broacha, now that you've explained it in that manner, the movie that comes to my mind, if I had to describe this election in a movie, I would probably say like Hosla Ka Ghosla or Hangover or something like that, no?
Yeah, but that's not fair because you had time to think about your question. You made up the question. You have time to think about your question. You put me on the spot there. And there's so many millions of movies. That's to hit you immediately. Yeah.
Okay, so let me say this. So I have been a Mumbaiya for a short while. I loved the place. In fact, I loved the people, to be more specific. I hated the city. It stinks. There's traffic everywhere. It's just too expensive to do anything. It just takes forever to reach somewhere. The roads are narrow. There's honking. I mean, it's just too chaotic. I'm trying to understand how our Mumbaikas dealing with this year after year, nobody really questioning and saying, okay, here's a solution, make it happen.
This is the world we live in again, that, everything is not going to be solved overnight. I think voters should also aim low. It's exactly like the best thing I've ever read in a male urinal is aim low. It's the safest thing to do. So I think our expectations are far too great. We have to bring them down a little bit. You really expect the pothole problem to be solved in our lifetime in a complete manner? I mean, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They do something here, do something there. It's not like all of them are not trying. There's a lot of people who are trying, but unfortunately, we don't seem to get the success that the people expect, which is a little bit ridiculous. We've made some progress, and I'm batting for the BMC here for a minute because I have some friends. We've made some progress with the metro. Definitely, we made a lot of progress with the coastal road, at least from my part of the world, going to the suburbs and coming back. So there are a few victories. Look at us as the maybe the Sri Lankan cricket team in the 90s. We're slowly getting there. Well, they're minnows, but we're slowly getting better and better. I'm hopeful. I'm very positive, including freedom of expression. I think we look over our shoulder at other countries, and there's plenty of right-leaning, aggressive sort of governments across the world. So I don't think we're in the worst position. So we need to just look at where we are, lower the expectations, not bother too much. People will always pee on the road. People will always spit out of their cars. There will always be debris. AQI will
No.
we'll equal Delhi. We'll defeat Delhi. Don't worry, Delhi. We're coming for you. We will defeat Delhi. So at the end of the day, why are we bothered about all these things? This is the way it's going to be. Just aim low and hope for few victories. It's a bit like marriage also, if you ask me. People think when they get married, it's going to be the greatest thing ever. By the 25th year, you're like, अगर ये हफ्ते में कुछ झगड़ा नहीं हुआ तो काफी है. And I think that's my aim.
That bit on Delhi, I actually agree with that because you're almost there. We are about 600 this time of the year. You are about 400, right? So we're almost getting there. Give it a couple of more seasons, it'll probably get there, right? But, on the positive note that you mentioned, let me put it on you. 75,000 crore, that's the budget for BMC, right? You being like this elitist, as you described yourself, somebody who can afford to sort of put on their volumes, put on the AC, cut the noise out. If you were in the chair, if you had to spend that 75,000 crore, what are the top 3 things you would spend it on?
But number one would be, firstly, I want challenge for the two-wheelers. They're getting away with murder. But the number one thing would be, see, even though we improve some roads, it's almost like it's a domino effect where one road gets better and two get worse. Okay, and it may not be in the same area. But the problem is, as a Mumbaiker, you've been a Mumbaiker, so you understand you're not staying in one area. So supposing we do good work in Nepean Road somewhere in South Mumbai, somewhere in Mulund, there'll be 2 roads who are suffering. It just seems to have that negative effect also. So every time we do a little, we also lose a little. Now, accountability with that, third or fourth largest budget in the entire Asian continent is ours. Which has fabulous figures. The accountability is a whole another ball game altogether. And I hope Aaj Tak in India today can use their admin and their people who do finance to look at that properly to see whether money should be allocated in the right way. And more importantly, it has been spent in the right way or not, which clearly you know the answer.
No, I don't think this is the bar that Aaj Tak in India today, admin and finance can take it up. I think this is what elected governments are for, and this is what it should stay at as well. But as we wrap up, give me your own, Cyrus, one word for Mumbai politicians.
So I would like to say politicians of Maharashtra especially, the word flexible is the most important word because they're extremely flexible in terms of political thought, manifestos, ideas, alliances, promises, and that flexibility has allowed them to have long careers. So maybe we should learn from them, just to be very flexible. What you're saying on Monday is not what happens on Tuesday. And what you're saying on Tuesday is forgotten by Wednesday. It's like that. You've got to. It's a you got to hand it to them. It's like a proper sport. It's not like not everyone can do politics. It takes skill. Now, having said that, I'm not saying that you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, but to play as a politician, you need to be like, you need to have the Virat Kohli kind of cricketing, genes. You have to have that in politics.
Cyrus, can I say I'm laughing and crying internally at the same time? It is just so sad that this is what our country has come to, and city after city, and especially metro after metro, I see the same issue everywhere, same disconnect that politicians have with, with residents. It's just terribly sad. But let's end on a nicer note. And now I'm giving you time to think, so don't complain. Take your time and tell me a song that comes to mind when I say BMC.
Yeah, I've got a lovely Hindi song. Kuch
Yeah.
na kaho, kuch bhi na kaho. I think it's the best way to answer is not answer. Again, that's a lesson in politics. You answer by not answering. You don't really say anything. That's the best thing. But like I said, there have been some small improvements. Listen, I meet these guys all the time. Some of them recognize me and say nice things. Well, I don't want to fight with them. Some of them really try hard, but the system needs a revamp, and they'll admit it themselves. When you look at these huge budgets and whether they go in the right directions, these are big, big questions which are beyond my pay grade and capacity. But have we solved the pothole problem? I don't know. Congestion? I don't know. Traffic issues? I don't know. Bridges? There are 2 or 3 that have never been erected again. I don't know. So I mean, there's lots of room for improvement. But I live in the city, so let me just say, Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, all good.
Right, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Hind, and already like Real's hoping to citizens as well. Here's hoping that everybody and all of us who criticize the government, all of us who question the government actually take out the time, go out and vote tomorrow as well, because that's the test for us as citizens as well. So here's hoping that your and my voice actually reaches those people and they're able to do that as well. Cyrus, for the moment, thank you so much for joining us and good luck. See you on the voting rolls tomorrow. All right, more updates coming in from BMC. Campaign for 29 municipalities, including the BMC, concluded today at 5 p.m. ahead of voting scheduled on the 15th of Jan. More than 15,000 candidates are now contesting across the states, including the 1,700 vying for 227 wards in the BMC. Results will be out on the 16th of January. Remember, this is the delay after which finally the elections are getting held. One election which has seen a lot of, whirlpool events of parties joining hands, not, contesting together, and very unlikely alliances happening as well. It's been a full chaos. So let's see what this election really throws at us. For the moment, 3, 2, 1, go. So hello and welcome, Veer Das. And what a way to start 2026. You are now directing, you're also acting.
I wrote this film 10 years ago.
Wow.
If I tell you the 2 people it's based on camera, I'll go to jail.
So अगर ये नहीं चली तो
When I say this, I'm also a comedian, so अगर नहीं चली, I can do jokes about it. They're all love letters to my country, all of these shows.
From the country also, you've got
all types of letters. If an artist is mature, head down, mouth shut, I'll take your feedback. That is the honor I afford you as an audience member. But then don't punish me with process. Don't make 5 phone calls. I'm in touch with all of them. Whenever a comic is in trouble in India, I get a phone call. That's it.
So hello and welcome, Veer Das. How are you doing? आप आइए बाहर आइए दिल्ली में. Finally.
मेरा गुड़गांव का experience है college में यहाँ आना to drink.
Gurgaon has changed since then.
It's changed since then, but Delhi में ठेके at some point बंद हो जाते थे, and गुड़गांव में 1 घंटा late खुले होते थे, so we used to come here as college kids, but none of this was there then.
None of this was there. Talking about change, Gurgaon has changed and so have you.
I've changed a lot.
I want to begin by saying that my first memory of you goes back to about 15 years ago, when, like I was mentioning to you a little while earlier, I saw you in this little cafe in Delhi and you had some real mean things to say about journalists, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? Like, what does he think?
I still have some mean things to say, but not about real journalists.
Okay.
So yeah.
But the point I was trying to make was that from that to now, a full curve where I would take out time out of my weekend, leave my kid at home to go watch your show.
Yeah.
You've earned that respect today, and I'm so glad
thank
for
you.
the work that you're doing. So yeah, good times. And what a way to start 2026. You are now directing, you're writing, you're also
Co-directing.
acting.
Co-directing, co-writing, and acting with many people. So
Many people.
Yeah.
So after a whirlwind of 24-25, tell me about how you're feeling right now.
I am nervous as hell, yeah. थोड़ा सा disconnect है because stand-up को जो community है, people leave the house for stand-up.
हाँ.
You are accustomed to leaving the house for stand-up. So maybe you get a babysitter, you get an Uber, you leave the house, etc., etc., etc. Films, whether they still leave the house for films or not, is a genre-specific thing.
Yeah.
So you'll either leave the house for patriotism, or you leave the house for horror. But for comedy, usually people leave the house, it's for live comedy, and I'm hoping they leave the house for film comedy as well. So that's the litmus test of this film, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm nervous, I'm not gonna lie, I am nervous. So yeah.
But how did it come about? Tell me a little bit about the movie. Like, I've seen the trailers, I've seen a lot of the stuff, but when I saw Delhi Belly for the first time, I was like, what is this? It took me a while to understand the movie.
Yeah.
So, the similar thing is
silly.
happening
Equally
with this
stupid, equally silly, but I think, see, comedy is counterculture, no? So you kind of have to wait for culture to exist for the comedy version of that culture to exist. So, jab Delhi Belly nikli, I don't know if you remember, but cinema was very cultured and very soft. You know, there was Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, which looked amazing, and there was Parinita and Guzarish, and it was all meaningful. So then suddenly when Three Boys came, and Pot and this and that, etc., we popped. Now Spy is as mainstream as you get. We live in war, Pathan, Durandar, Tiger. So you need an idiotic, silly, stupid spy to be counterculture. I'm happy to be that idiot. I wrote this film 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I've had this idea because I saw Johnny English. Johnny English is one of my favorite movies. You know, I love like Pink Panther, Johnny English, spy comedy, detective comedy. And back then, everybody I took it to was like, but Indian spy, kaise, kahan se, what is this thing? And I kind of had to wait for this whole thing to become mainstream. And then 2 years ago, I called Aamir sir and said, sir, picture hai, aur agar aap produce nahi karoge, to koi produce nahi karega. And then that's how it started, 2 years ago.
Nice. And then I saw your post last night on Imran actually texting you to say,
Out of the
bro,
blue.
what are you doing?
It's an exact screenshot. I think Feb 2024, he messaged saying, because तब तक Aamir had greenlit us and narrations चल रहे थे, pre-prod चल रहा था, so buzz was good in the trade, in the Aamir Khan office कि कुछ बन रहा है पागल सा. So yeah, Imran, after 10 years off screen or 12 years off screen, texts you out of the blue, you're like, I am making full use of this opportunity. But if I'm going to get Imran Khan, I'm not going to waste Imran Khan. So it's not going to be rom-com Imran Khan. It's not going to be anything you've seen him do before. He plays international supermodel Milind Moria in my movie. That's all I can tell you. That's his character name. So yeah.
Talking about character names, the movie is called Happy Patel.
Khatarnag Jassoos.
Khatarnag Jassoos. Happy Patel, Khatarnag Jassoos. उसके बारे में थोड़ा तो बताइए हमें.
So, 2 British MI7 agents take a brown baby with them to London in 1991. वो baby मैं हूँ. And उनकी जो staff है, her name is Sakubai Patel. And एक shootout होता है उनके घर में. And shootout के बीच में, because she will not stop cleaning, उनको गोली लग जाती है. मेरी माँ मर जाती है. And they take this baby to England with them. And they raise me as Happy Paisley. तो मैं एक स्वीट सा, सेंसिटिव सा, बैले करता हूँ, एक शेफ हूँ जो सैंडविचेस बनाता है.
Very unlike Patel.
Very unlike Patel. And cut to present date, MI5 किसी को भेजना चाहता है गोवा में to take on the mafia. So I'm trained to be Indian in 3 weeks. I'm taught Hindi in 3 weeks. I'm shown lots of Bollywood movies. I'm told तुम्हारा असली नाम पटेल है, and dropped into the Goa mafia to take them on. So that's the story of my movie.
So which Indian did you decide to showcase in
the
your
accent
training?
is because you know वो तो ऐसा बात करता है और मेरे को बड़ा भूख लगा है. It's if I tell you the 2 people it's based on camera I'll go to jail. So when we cut,
Tell us.
I'll tell you who they're based on once we cut cameras. But yeah.
Okay, I've looked at even your stand-ups have a particular way in which it goes. It starts like really strong.
Yeah.
Then there is a Veer Das almost blueprint now, right?
A graph, yeah.
Yeah, there'll be a wave. You'll start really strong. There'll be something really solid in the middle. There'll be a lot of audience play. Then it'll end on something which is why I came to your show. Because you will say something which will really touch me and live with me, which will be quoted later and all of that, etc.
Yeah, touch wood. Yeah, so
Yeah,
far.
yeah. So brilliant stuff on that. I'm trying to understand, on stage as an artist, you're in full control. You control the lights. From what I've seen and heard of your interviews, you control how audiences, sitting, how they react, from silence, all of that put together. How much of that control has actually come into that movie as
That's
well?
why you direct. Because as an actor, I love actors, don't get me wrong, but wow, you have to wait and talk about protein shakes a lot. You know what I mean? But as a director, you control the lighting, you control the edit, you control the music.
Yeah.
I've written 60% of the songs in this movie. I'm the co-lyricist, I'm the co-music supervisor, my band has done 5 songs. So I really said ki if I never get to make another movie again, I'm going to throw every good idea I have into this movie, but I'll do it my way. And maybe सिर्फ 5 लोग आएंगे, but they'll get my flavor, in this movie.
So अगर ये नहीं चली तो
The nice thing is I'm also a comedian, so अगर नहीं चली, I can do jokes about it. You know what I mean? That's the nice thing about my profession is the disaster in your life is 10 minutes of comedy later in life. So yeah, we don't know if it works because we are one of the first films to try this kind of a self-aware in the process. Like usually films का marketing is very देखो हमारा finished product, देखो कितना glossy है, देखो हमारे graphics. But here it's Aamir and me talking about cut किसका जाएगा, edit किसका जाएगा, अच्छा निकल रही है तो क्या करें. We've been kind of open about that process. You know, the first promo he says 4 things to me which are key marketing points. तुमने हट के film बनाई है. That was important to communicate. Hero पिटता रहता है इस film में. Important to communicate. तुम्हारे love track में the woman has the upper hand the entire movie. She's in control. Important to communicate.
That stayed with me.
Right? And you're a bad dancer. Also important to communicate. So through comedy we were able to communicate 4 things about a film, which is a good way to go about it.
That's smart. But Happy Patel also has, how do I say, he's a spy who's slightly off.
Yeah.
He's slightly
Very off. He's an idiot.
He's a certain misfit.
Yeah.
Then he tries to get in. He's like this outsider trying to understand things. You know where I'm getting with this, right? A lot of this has to do with who you are.
Yeah.
So is this like a projection of...
I mean, everything you write is a projection, but at its core, the movie is about what it means to be Indian today. It takes every NRI trope that you have and reverses it. All his training is wrong. Every idea he comes to India with as an NRI is wrong. And India teaches him what's right. So that's very much about, the center of the movie is about what it means to be Indian.
Yeah.
In a very stupid, silly way. It's not preachy, it doesn't talk at the audience at all, you know.
Okay. I do want to talk about the year of Gen Z that I mentioned earlier on as well, right?
I'm so happy because this is a Gen Z movie.
Gen Z movie, yeah. I don't know what Gen Z means, frankly. I think this generation just it's too much in the domain for no reason. But
that's our age talking. I don't know if we're the same age or whatever.
We are
but
millennials.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
we leave it there.
no, I think they are a self-aware generation, very authentic, and it's a weird thing to document and broadcast your life while you are living your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We can't relate to that.
Yeah.
But that is their ethos. Like you are no longer going to a Veer show or a Diljit show or a Coldplay concert. You are going to document and broadcast yourself at a Veer show or a Diljit show or a Coldplay concert.
Yep.
Because doing that says something about who you are and what your tribe is. That's what I figured out about them. Their tribe is very important to them. Fair enough. You know, fair enough.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own thing. Like I remember when hip hop came out when we were 10 or 11 years old and our parents were like, what is this nonsense? Nobody's singing. Everybody has their thing. Look at how hard our generation fought for sexuality.
Yes.
You know, that was really our...
Nirbhaya movement and everything.
I'm saying racial equality and sexuality.
Yeah.
Very much our cornerstone issues of our generation. I think for them it's mental health.
Yep.
You know, fair enough. Yeah.
It's pay parity, it's all of that.
Yeah.
But give me your two India sort of lens on Gen Z. Because there's a huge thing online as well that where Gen Z, even in our neighboring countries, is overturning governments, is making sure that change happens. Look at even what's happening in Arab right now. It's
Yeah.
all of it, right?
Yeah.
India का Gen Z कहाँ है? क्या कर रहा है? I mean, I often, and I'm not saying it as a comment, I genuinely want to know what's your read on this because I struggle sometimes. I feel like we are the youngest country in the world, very opinionated, with lots of tons of issues.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What is this one thing that gets Gen Z together? Is it street dogs? Is it Aravalis? Is it politics? Is it education? Is it jobs? Because nothing seems to matter at the moment.
I think that if we start, but my limited understanding of it is you can gather around the truth, right? I remember seeing young kids come together to stand up for Nirbhaya
Yes.
because we all knew what the truth was.
Yeah. That was millennials again.
It was
That's not
millennials
Gen Z.
again, but
Yeah.
I'm saying there was no disputing what that truth was.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it's easy to prove any truth right now. How do you get behind a truth that cannot be proven? It is, there are 17 different versions of everything that are paid for, trending, I just don't think anybody knows what's real anymore. And we're being algorithmed into echo chambers that say completely opposite things. But I think when one thing emerges that is true, we stand up for it. Like, okay, it is undeniable that the AQI is a problem.
Yep.
You cannot spin it either way. AQI doesn't vote. AQI doesn't do anything else. It just is. And so there's chatter around AQI. But I feel like this generation is being deprived of the truth at all levels.
Yeah, but like you said, AQI hai, but nobody seems to care about it. Nobody
Wait, now a
seems
little
to.
bit. I think, let's see. I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful for this generation.
Okay. Tell me about next steps for Veer. I know there's a special. There's a tour that you're already on. We don't know
there's
if.
a show called Sounds of India.
Yes.
Which is.
I hear there's some like theatrical things there, and I'm waiting for a show to happen here.
It is every sound you will hear from 3:45 in the morning to midnight in India through the day. So if you live in India, every noise that you will hear. So and it takes you across India to every state and plays their noises as well. So it is an audible experience, but it is 200 sounds in 1.5 hours and jokes about them. So, because the theory of the show is, I think all this noise pollution, if you hear it right, there's a music to it and there's a poetry to it. So I think that's the centerpiece of the show.
Nice.
So that will do a big India tour. Hopefully you'll see me on Broadway soon. I have another show that I'm doing internationally called Hey Strangers. So you'll hopefully see me there. And if this movie works, I'll direct soon. And if it doesn't, I'll be doing stand-up. That's so yeah.
So we've spoken, but all of this is happening. You'll stay away from political commentary.
Come to my show. It's there.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's... I can't predict what's going to be the thing that gets everybody riled up. That's what I've learned. You could think it's going to be this thing, and the thing you never thought is going to be the problem. So your best bet is just write it and just say it, and then deal with it when the time comes. But if you second guess, you'll drive yourself insane. I also think typically if you come and see a comic, Grover, myself, Kamra, anybody, really, outside of a few of us, political commentary is like 10% of our show. That's what goes viral.
Yeah.
So you assume it's the whole show.
Yeah.
But there's a kahani to our show. Yeah, there's a it's a piece.
What would you like to be viral for?
I wouldn't like to be viral for anything. I've never gone viral.
Huh.
When I've gone viral, there's been
okay, what would you like to be known for? Let me rephrase that. Don't say directing and all that. Now that's a
best
sitting
case
duck.
scenario
Huh.
for a comic at least.
Huh.
I'm long dead. I'm long gone.
Huh.
But if you're still quoting 2 or 3 things that I said, that's it. That's enough. There's a comic called George Carlin, who I really like, from the 60s, 70s, 80s. Till date, he's quoted every day on Twitter by the left and the right. Same joke. And I think that's, words are immortal. So if I can create 2 or 3 phrases that outlive me, best case scenario. That's
And
it.
when do these best words come to you? Everybody has a process.
You'll tell me. I don't know.
I'm trying to understand your process. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night. I remember my early days of
Yeah.
reporting when we used to be think about P2C karne ko mil
Yeah,
raha hai.
yeah, yeah.
I would wake up in the middle of the night. In my dream, I would get that this is what I should end on, and this is what the shot should be. And everybody has their own process.
I think for
Are
me,
you-
I write jokes
Huh.
and then I try and put my thoughts in between jokes. So a lot of times the things that, in my special landing, there was very much about patriotism and home and all of that stuff. There's a line that I say, hate is yelled but love is felt.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that is the one line everybody quotes from that special.
Yeah.
It was improvised. It wasn't written. It was in between jokes. I
Huh.
needed something to get from one joke to another.
Huh.
And it's just what I thought. So I just spoke. So a lot of times that stuff is maybe because there's a rawness to it,
Yeah.
it goes more viral or whatever. So I can never tell. I'm always wrong. Whatever I think, "Arey, ye joke to kill marega, ye viral," I'm always wrong. Always. 100% wrong.
Okay. Okay. So let me do some rapid fire questions
Okay.
with you.
Okay.
Okay. So don't overthink. Just say
Yeah, don't worry.
whatever that comes to your mind. Okay. Are we ready? Are we ready for this one? Okay, great. Stage or silence?
Stage.
Okay. Bombing on stage or a film that's politely ignored?
Bombing on stage. I'll learn something from bombing on stage. I'd rather have that.
A joke that offends or a joke that's forgettable?
Love me or hate me, just don't ignore me. So I'd rather offend you than you forget about me.
Indian audience or global audience?
Indian
Which is harder? Which is harder on you?
Harder and better.
Harder and better. Okay.
But
okay.
any day, Indian audience, much harder 5 minutes at up top, best 95 minutes that follow. So
Explain that?
In America, if you perform,
Huh.
first 5 minutes they're in, woo, and then by 60 minutes they're running out of stamina a little bit.
Huh.
Indian audience, we wait. 5 minutes thoda nacho, let's see, were you worth this ticket or not?
Huh.
And then they'll give you 95 minutes of gold. So their energy never dies.
I call it the diesel engine.
हाँ,
We start.
गड़ time लगता है,
बाद में शुरू होते हैं. Maybe Indian audience globally. For you, I would have thought that.
No.
No?
A lot of Indian audience globally, I'm their newest connect to India. So they come out and they're like, "Abhi, kya ho raha hai desh mein? Tell me na." So because a lot of them have not been in a room with this many Indians in a very long time.
Yeah.
So for them, I'm that.
हाँ.
But I'll take a Mumbai audience over anywhere in the world. Anywhere.
दिल्ली की लड़के मुंबई की बात कर रहे हैं. उस पर I have to come back to that question anyways. But going back to our rapid fire. Being misunderstood or being irrelevant?
Being irrelevant. I'd rather, if you're going to know me, I'd rather it be for what you felt. And if you don't feel it, I'd rather not you know me.
One emotion you use humor to avoid?
Conflict. I don't like conflict. I'm not a conflict-oriented person. So if my wife is mad at me, I'm making her laugh in 30 seconds, which makes her more upset.
Yeah, I was just going to say.
Because the fight's over there. But immediately I've got jokes if we're having a fight. So yeah.
Okay. One emotion you wish you were better at expressing without a joke?
I wish I was better at handling a compliment. It terrifies me. I'm not good with praise and I'm not good. So if somebody's like, I'm just like, ha ha, and I add a stupid joke in there to disarm it. I'm not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest
No.
comic of our time is sitting with us right now.
Outside in Gurgaon construction.
Yeah. Filmfare for direction is coming up.
No chance. Yeah.
Okay, creative freedom or financial safety?
Creative freedom.
A compliment you secretly distrusted people.
When people say, when I go to America, everybody says, love that. Every time at the end of the meeting, they're like, oh my God, I love it. I love that. I'm like, I'm never seeing this person again in my life. So yeah.
Oh, it's like, let's do this again.
Yeah, let's do this again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Okay,
a very
okay.
like LA, New York. Oh my God, I love that. I'm like, see you. Have a nice life.
It's actually from Friends.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, okay. A criticism that still stings.
You don't know anything about India. I would submit to you that I've seen more of India as a traveling artist than many people have. You know.
Writing alone at 3 a.m. or a room full of collaborators?
For a film, a room full of collaborators. For me, writing alone at 7 a.m. I write for 2 hours a day at 7 a.m.
Every day.
without fail.
Okay. Something you have outgrown but people still expect from you.
Some of the movies I did after Delhi Belly and Go Go are gone.
They're still expecting that from you?
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, bro, wo sex comedy jo tune kiya tha, bada acha tha." And I'm like, "Yeah, nahi yaar."
Okay, stand-up that changes minds or stand-up that can make people laugh?
If you make them laugh enough, you'll change their mind.
Good answer. Being liked or being respected?
Neither.
Loved then.
No.
Then?
I don't
People, women with underwears. What? What?
being seen and making people feel seen. That's it. To me, that's hard.
One word you are tired of hearing about yourself.
Wisdom. Some people say usme wisdom hota hai. I'm like, nahi re. I'm just talking.
Okay. And last one. Are you calmer than you were 5 years ago or just you're quieter?
I've always been quiet and I'm not calmer. I've finally getting to do some of the crazy things in my brain.
Huh.
I've been cancelled for 2 years and sat on my bum for 2 years doing absolutely nothing. I'm finally getting to work again. So I'm not calm at all. I'm ready to go.
Okay. And if Veerdas was an animal, what animal would you be?
Sparrow.
Explain.
You know, he's here, then he goes somewhere else, then he goes somewhere else. You're always happy to see him. Doesn't really impact your life, but he'll kind of remind you of where you are. That's it. I'm a sparrow.
Oh, nice. That was nice. That was nice. Next time I see a sparrow, you know who to remember
There
and
you go.
why.
Yeah.
I have one story I want you to tell
Huh.
me about that I've heard. You apparently met your first girlfriend in
At
a
a news channel
studio.
in Noida.
What was that?
We've, I won't give away her name.
Yeah.
Right, but
Is she a journalist, like right now?
I don't know if she still is, but she was then. And we dated in DPS Noida, and then I was giving an interview for Delhi Belly. And this is early in Delhi Belly in my career, so nobody knows who I am. So Aamir, Imran getting all the questions. Me and Kunal are just kind of chilling for the ride. And then this one journalist like, "Veer, you used to be so shy in school because I could barely hold her hand without blushing. When did you come out of your shell?" So I'm like, this is live on the news. So I'm like, in comedy, etc., etc., etc. And then in the news break, I realized this is my first girlfriend.
Oh my God.
We were 15, 16. So we've both changed reasonably since then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was
Nice.
quite a revelation.
All right. On that note, Mr. Veerdas, thank you very, very
Thank you
much.
very, very
Good
much.
luck for the movie.
Thank you.
I hope it does real well, and I hope you have all those people. You can fill up a stadium, we know, with your jokes.
Let's hope I can fill up a movie theatre.
Yeah.
We'll see.